you all early in the morning, so fresh and eager to learn. Before beginning with the class, let's see the thought for the day. And it is, not all storms come to disrupt your life. Some come to clear your path. Yes, and why this thought today? You see many of the people around you nowadays, they talk about the situation that we all are facing, that is COVID-19. Right? And what is it? Most of them are becoming negative. And they talk so much negative about the things, about the situation, that we fail to notice any positivity in this. Like if you compare this today's scenario with the past, the time just before the spread of this pandemic, you see there was a lot of pollution all around. People somewhere had become self-centered, selfish. So what are all these? These are all negativities that was prevailing in the world. But with the spread of this pandemic, which of course is not something very good, but if you try to see a positive side of it, this had brought the people all over the world very close to each other. Right? We have started becoming sympathetic towards others. We've started thinking about other people. We've started thinking about our mother nature, earth. Right? And as due to the lockdown, not all people are allowed to move out of the house, we have stopped or curtailed our use of vehicles, which in turn had given Mother Nature a time to heal. So this storm in the form of pandemic COVID-19, you can say has not come to disrupt you, has not come to destroy the humanity, but it has come to clear our paths of self-centeredness, selfishness, our care towards the nature, which in turn is clearing our path towards better environment, towards better future, where maybe the global warming has reduced a little bit. So every time when there is some negative things, try to find out some positivity in it. And with that note, let's continue with our chapter. We are on page number 45 and the second last paragraph on it. Yes, Excellency, he escaped, Sadao now said. He coughed, signifying that he had not said all he might have said, but was unwilling to disturb the general further. But the old man opened his eyes suddenly. So now, as you had seen in the last video, that the general had promised to send assassins, but because of his illness, he somehow missed doing so. And then Sadao informs him that the enemy had escaped, and then all of a sudden the general gets reminded about the enemy. And then he says, the prisoner, he said with some energy, did I not promise you I would kill him for you? And then he remembers his promise that he had made to Sadao, saying that he will help him out in killing the enemy. So he is asking the same. Now, you did, Excellency, said Sadao. Well, well, the old man said in a tone of amazement. So I did, but you see, I was suffering a good deal. The truth is, I thought of nothing but myself, In short, I forgot my promise to you. So Sadao admits to what General is asking, but then General says, I'm very sorry. I feel I've become very selfish, I became very self-centered, and I was only thinking about myself. The trouble, the pain I was suffering from. And in that, I totally forgot about the promise that I had made to you. I wondered, Your Excellency, Sadao murmured. So Sadao, because the general is at a higher position and obviously Sadao cannot question him, so he has got nothing else but to only admit or to accept whatever the general was saying. It was certainly very careless of me, the general said, but you understand, it was not lack of patriotism or dereliction of duty. So he says that it was really very careless from my side to be very careless, but I am telling you, try to understand that it was not that I am not a patriotic or I had become a derelict of my duty. I have just neglected my duty, nothing of that sort. Right? It was only he looked anxiously at his doctor. If the matter should come out, you would understand that, wouldn't you? And then here, what does the general say? The general says, if this matter, that is the presence of enemy in the country, if this comes out, if it leaks through somewhere, it would really be very difficult. Now here, what has happened? Sadao had told everything about the enemy to general. And general on his part had failed to take any actions or fulfill his promise. So now general knows that if something of this happens, that people come to know about the enemy, if the secret is let out, Sadao would be at fault, but general would be at a more degree of fault. He would be considered at fault more than Sadao. So he doesn't want that the secret should be let out. Certainly, Your Excellency, Sadao said. He suddenly comprehended that the general was in the palm of his hand and that as a consequence, he himself was perfectly safe. Now, Sadao didn't take much time to understand. Right? He quickly understood that now general is totally under his control. In the palm of his hand, that means under your control, under someone's control. So Sadao very quickly understood this, and then he said that that was perfectly fine, and because of this, what the general had promised and he didn't fulfill his promise, because of this now he is safe. Because he has got a place to say that I had informed the authority. It was from the authority's side that the step was not taken. I can swear to you your loyalty, Excellency, he said to the old general, and to your zeal against the enemy. So just speaking out good sweet words. He says, I know, I can swear to your loyalty. I know you're so loyal, so patriotic towards the country. Right? And that would I really appreciate. I really appreciate the way you wanted to help me out against the enemy. But Sadao, searching the spot of black in the twilighted sea that night, had his reward. So now general had promised him that he would be rewarded. Now this is just a way of general, because we have seen earlier also that general was like selfish and self-centered man. So now because he is also trapped, so he says that he would be trying to get reward for Sadao. It was only so thinking that if Sadao comes to know about reward, maybe he'll never leak out the secret. He'll keep quiet. This reward thing was only told in order to keep the secret in. And then Sadao, for him, that reward which the general would get for him was not of that importance. But in the night when he did not see any flash of the torch. That was the biggest gift for him, he says. No one was on the island. His prisoner was gone, safe doubtless, for he had warned him to wait only for a Korean fishing boat. So now, because there was no flash of light, Sadao was able to understand that the prisoner was safe. Maybe he had got the Korean fishing boat and he has left the island. He stood for a moment on the veranda, gazing out to the sea from whence the young man had come that other night. And into his mind, although without reason, there came other white faces he had known. So now, he stood in the veranda. Right? You remember, in the beginning of the lesson also we saw he and his wife were standing there in the veranda. They were sitting and they were discussing about their life in the past and present. And today again he is standing at that same place and he is trying to remember, trying to think about the enemy. Right? From the place where he had come, looking into the direction of the sea. From where the enemy had come with the waves. Right? So he was just looking at that and then without any reason, he doesn't know how, but all the faces of the white people when he was in America for his studies, they had started coming to his memory. All those faces. Now let's see who are they. The professor at whose house he had met Hana, a dull man. So it was his professor where he met Hana for the first time in the party which the professor and his wife had given to these foreign children. And his wife had been a silly, talkative woman in spite of her wish to be kind. And we had seen how the wife of the professor, she was so talkative. She kept on talking without any reason. And in return, why did she talk so much? She only wanted that the students should feel at home. She was only trying to be kind by being so talkative. He remembered his old teacher of anatomy who had been so insistent on mercy with the knife. And then after these husband and wife, the professor and his wife, he remembered the professor of anatomy who had been so insistent on mercy with the knife, who laid stress, insistent, to say strongly about what you have. You should have mercy on the knife, he used to say. And then he remembered the face of his fat and slatternly landlady. And after the professor, his wife, then the anatomy professor, he remembered his landlady, at whose place he used to live when he was in America. He had had great difficulty in finding a place to live in America because he was a Japanese. So he was a Japanese and that's the reason why he found it difficult to get a place to live in America, and then it was this lady who gave him space in her house for him to live. The Americans were full of prejudice and it had been better to live in it, knowing himself their superior. So the Americans, they were totally against Japanese from the beginning, right? And then I had to somehow put up into this surrounding. Why? Because I had to finish with my studies. And knowing that I am superior, that is the Japanese are more superior to the Americans. Knowing this, still he had to put up in a place where he knew that people didn't like him. How he had despised the ignorant and dirty old woman who had at last consented to house him in her miserable home. So, how he had to keep on begging, keep on requesting the woman, and finally how she had given her consent to keep Sadao at her home. He had once tried to be grateful to her because she had in his last year nursed him through influenza. So he says that I didn't like this lady at all. She was very untidy, very dirty. She didn't live neatly and all her house was always in a mess. And once I really tried to be grateful towards her, thankful towards her. Why? Because when I was suffering from influenza, she was the one who took care of me, who nursed me, who took care of me during my illness. So I tried to be grateful to her, but then it was difficult for she was no less repulsive to him in her kindness. But then he says that though I tried to be grateful and tried to be thankful towards her, but it was very difficult for me to do it because at the time when she was taking care of me, at that time also she was like a disgusting lady for me. I totally hated her even at that time. Now he remembered the youthful, haggard face of his prisoner, white and repulsive. So after these people, the professor and his wife, the professor of anatomy, the landlady, now he finally remembers the last American that he had met, and that is the prisoner. Prisoner who was youth, who was a very young man of 17 years old, and then after that, but what was his face was not that lively, not that bright. It was haggard face of the prisoner, haggard, tired and worried. Tired because maybe he had been fighting with the enemy, with the army of Japanese troops, and worried because he was in the place where because he was in the place where in between the enemies, among the enemies he was living. And that might be the reason why he had that expression of worry on his face. White and repulsive. Because he was an American, he was white in color, the skin color was white, and he was also repulsive. He was also very disgusting. He also annoyed Sadao a lot. Then, strange, he thought, I wondered why I could not kill him. And after remembering all these people, Sadao thinks to himself that the man, the enemy, the prisoner, was his enemy. But then he could not understand the reason behind that why he could not kill him. What was the reason that stopped him from killing this man? So that is what is the end of the chapter. The chapter ends with a question mark, where Sadao is still thinking about this question which had come to his mind lot many times. Even Hana had been asking him this thing, what are we going to do with this enemy? Why are we saving him? Though they did not like this man, right? Even though they were living in America for their studies and all, but they really had no sympathy towards this man because they were very patriotic and very loyal towards their own country. But then here you can see humanity taking over the loyalty towards the country, right? Humanity is something which is beyond borders. Humanity doesn't know any boundaries, right? And because of this humanity only, Sadao could not kill the enemy or could not hand over him to the police. Rather, he decided to take care of him, he decided to operate on him and try to save his life. In doing so, we had seen how the servants had gone against him, how they had left him, how Hana was troubled because of all those things, right? How he had to face all the dangers and how he had put himself in a dangerous situation by telling the truth to the general. Just imagine if the general would not have been sick. He would have really taken step against Sadao. But since the general was not well and the circumstances were such that general forgot about the prisoner, he only thought about himself. So at the end we see that Sadao had taken his own decision. Rather than waiting for assassins or other people to come and kill him or catch hold of the enemy, he decided on his own that this enemy should be freed. He should be escaped. His escape from the house would mean peace for everybody, for his family and even for the enemy. Right? So here we see how the behavior is different from person to person. Right? How according to the situation the behavior changes. Is it clear? Hana and Sadao, they took care of this man when he was sick, when he needed their care and attention, they did so, but they did not like him. How servants on their part to save themselves from any punishment or any trouble left the family where they had been working for so long. If you remember, the gardener had been working with this family when Sadao was a small child, but he left. So this again shows the selfishness, the self-centeredness. How general again shows the same qualities. He is thinking about himself. Right? He is self-centered. He doesn't allow Sadao to go along with the troops. Why? Because he may need him any time. So that is again selfishness. In a way you can say that this was also disloyalty towards the country. Who needed the doctor more? It was the soldiers, the troops that needed the doctor more than the general, the old general. Right? So this is how with so many human behavioral differences the chapter goes and it ends again on the note of humanity. And humanity comes out to be the winner among the dilemma of so many other emotions. Okay, so I hope the chapter is clear to you all. In the next video, we will be discussing the question and answers of this video. Until then, keep learning, keep experiencing. Bye-bye.